Hi, I'm Tracy Evans. 30 years ago, the fathers of this church sent me out as a missionary to the nations. I was 23 years old at the time. Since then, I've been in about 65 nations, mostly nations coming out of war or under communist rule or Muslim dominion. And it's been quite a pilgrimage. For the last 12 years, I've been in Mozambique, Africa. Mozambique was declared by the World Bank to be the poorest nation in the world about 8 years ago. They endured 17 years of a civil war that absolutely devastated the country. So they had some very basic immediate needs. There was a lot of starvation. It's a subtropical climate, so there's a lot of tropical illnesses. So we spoke with the government, we spoke with community leaders to see what was on their heart. And they needed medical care and they wanted schools. So we did that. We built a clinic and we built a school. The clinic is also a feeding program that supplies food for 900 orphan infants. We also have a prison ministry in 2 prisons in 2 separate towns. Both prisons have about 100 plus men at a time. All the men receive the Lord, every single one of them, even the Muslims, because we go in there, we go every day, 6, sometimes 7 days a week for 2 hours a day, and we saturate them with the love of Jesus. The gospel is the only good news they've ever heard, so they readily receive it, respond to it, and then we put them through a 3-month discipleship program, and at the end of that 3 months, we baptize them. So about every 3 months, we baptize about 100 men. We have leadership training programs for the government officials. Through our work, we began to establish relationships with various high-ranking officials in our province. And they asked us if we would teach them leadership principles. So every other month we do a conference, and we've had, oh gosh, about 150 government officials come. I'm so grateful for how the people of Bethel Church and the leaders of Bethel Church have sown into my life personally, my team, and our ministry in Mozambique and other nations over the years. It's been 30 years now of them investing in us, whether it's sending us tapes from the sermons on Sundays or books, or just feeding us spiritually, sending out resources, sending out people so that we can extend the kingdom of God in these various nations. People often ask, what does it cost? It costs everything. But that's such a small price to pay for everything that the Lord gives back. I don't know who said it, but they said you can't outgive God, and you can't. I have no regrets for what it's cost me to go out to the nations. It has been a rough ride. I went to Muslim countries and communist countries, closed countries. I was able to get in through my medical credentials. I've been through wars, I've been through riots. We deal with bullets and snakes. It's difficult. We've been through betrayals. I've been a hostage with communist guerrillas in a foreign country. It's been difficult. I would do it all 100 times over, because what God does with that, when a seed is planted in the ground and dies, it bears forth much fruit. We fight over who can give more out there. We look for ways to, not just of our finances, but our emotional energy, our time, our physical strength. Because it's a privilege to be able to do so. If God is anything, He's a giver, and when we give, we become like Him in His nature and character. And we can't give enough.